Hello, welcome to Separated by Water. This is the first episode I've ever done without the presence of Colin. But so much has happened with Nottingham Forest in a very, very busy week that we decided we'd do a quick interview with Charlie and get a stable head on it because I'm very react very badly whenever we lose players and all these things happen. Charlie, how are you?
I'm grand. Yeah, I'm grand now. I'm all ready and settled down. Yeah, it's a bit of a panic today, but all is good now.
Good, good. Charlie, three things have happened. Anthony Alanga's left, gone to Newcastle United. We have lost Morgan Gibbs-White, or have we? We'll discuss that. And we have the new situation with um, has been promoted to the Europa League. I assume that's going to happen. I don't know if it's official yet, but I think it will be. So we'll start with Elanga. Are we going to miss him? How badly will we miss him? Was it good business? What's your general feelings on it?
Well, first of all, Elanga was an absolute an absolute genius for us. I felt he was part of a team that was just the whole thing gelled together. You know, he was part of a team that very often without him we didn't have that pace. With that, and this might sound daft, but he seemed like an all round nice guy. He still is a nice guy.
Yeah,
And he's gone. I didn't swear or say anything because I'm very what's the word? I'm very optimistic. I'm very things like football transfers really don't bother me. I think, oh, that's a shame, but look, we've made money. I take the positives out of everything in my life at the moment because I had a bad few years of life with hips and knees and things. So, um, and I what he was great. We got 2 3 years for him. He didn't cost us much. He wasn't, he was a gamble, but a small gamble. We've reaped the rewards. Probably not happy that Man United are getting a little bit purely because they're Man United. But he's gone to Newcastle, and I think the greatest thing of it all was that he actually sat down and posted to the Forest fans saying that that he loved his time, he appreciated us, and there was no. He didn't forget us. He didn't just go make lots of money and just forget us. He took the time, which I think is important too. I mean, I certainly, when Elanga comes down to Forest, I will be one of the few that will go Anthony Elanga because he was
yeah,
part
yeah,
of
yeah,
our success, or whatever success we've had.
yeah.
I look back to Barnsley on a Tuesday night, pissing rain and going nowhere, possibly League One, and I think Elanga was part of what we had, and this is he's part of our history now. Again, we're evolving, we're moving on,
Yeah.
and we're. I think I'm not even sad that he's gone because the positive is that we've made money out of him that hopefully will be reinvested. It would be nice to see him at Forest. I hope he doesn't come back and score loads of goals, but if he does, that's his job. I was a plumber. I don't know what I was a plumber. If somebody offered me more money, yeah, I probably would have if I liked the job, but I have to
Absolutely.
like the person first.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally get the why they move and for money. I think if we'd got Champions League, maybe we would have held on to him, but we didn't get Champions League. Um, so he's gone. But I think I calculated we made roughly 30, just over 30 million profit on it. As you say, I think Man United get 8 point something million out of the deal. Probably the best deal they'll get all season because they're very back poor at doing their own transfer details. So we'll move on then to Morgan's Gibbs White. What's happening? What do you feel about this one?
Well, it was a bit of a shock when it came out for us, but again, I wasn't. My initial reaction was, oh, well, Morgan's gone, and I was disappointed at the 60 million, considering we did spend rumored between 42 and 45 million. I thought, oh, we could probably got a bit more than that. This is before the tapping up and all that broke, but Morgan gives White, yeah, Morgan, look, and this is not sour grapes. I mean, if you can ask Fran, last year before, I thought Morgan Gibbs White was a very good footballer. I didn't think he was good enough for England. And my one, if I have criticisms, and I said to Fran several times at a game, when he's going forward, he was really not fantastic. He was really good going forward and good passes and that. But he had some great little tricks, great little pirouettes, But anytime he collected the ball inside our 18-yard area, and he had to do that pirouette, and I've seen him losing the ball 4 or 5 times, 6 times over the season, and that's where I thought a great footballer wouldn't do that. A great footballer, A, wouldn't attempt a pirouette, or B, he know he's good enough and do it and get away with it. But Morgan, look, he gave us, what's it, 3 years? He was great. He was a great part of our. He was a great part of our team again. Um, uh, he's gone. He's very quiet about it. He's very quiet. So it makes you wonder what's happening. But all the rumors and all this and the vitriol and calling him a snake and things. And like even his poor wife is being slagged off a little bit. Look, Morgan Gibbs-White came to us. I presume Nuno would have been his manager at Wolves. Apparently, they had rifts at Wolves, but he came to Forest because of Nuno, and Nuno improved him as a player. So much so that he got into the England camp, the England panel. So he evolved from Wolves and he evolved from us, and he's gone to Newcastle, he's gone to, I won't say that. Well, I will. He's gone to Tottenham, but Tottenham. Tottenham isn't, Madison. See, I don't want to criticize Morgan because it's his job and his career. He's got to make money, as much money as he can while he can. But will I miss him? No. Will I miss Elanga? No. And I mean that. I don't mean that. Oh, I hate them. I think they were fantastic, and I miss the fact that I know Elanga and I miss Morgan Gibbs-White. But to watch the team on the football field, no, they're gone. Collimore's gone. Van Hooydonk's
See,
gone.
you're very different from
Yeah,
You're very different from me. As I said to you earlier, I get all wound up and worried, and I get stressed. And I said this a few episodes ago to Colin that this team, the team of last year, is possibly my favourite team of Forest of all time. And
okay.
as they start to pick away, and my worry is now that they'll keep picking away. Callum Hudson-Odoi, is he the next guy to go? That's my worry, and I'm nervous. To summarise the two players, I'm probably more nervous at the loss of Elanga than I am of Morgan Gibbs-White. And everybody says that the team can be built around him. I don't know how we're going to replace Elanga and get somebody with the speed, because he really did suit the system of football we played. But Morgan Gibbs-White, I think Elliot Anderson, although a different midfielder, I think he's a very creative player. I think he's a fantastic midfielder. He will play for England this season. I've no doubt his time at the under-21s will be over and he'll move up to the England team. But I'm more nervous about that. Do you think, is there in any world, is there a way that Morgan Gibbs-White is going to stay with us after this tapping up situation?
No, no. One word,
It's
no.
gone.
A player can't
Yeah.
do that. Van Hooijdonk couldn't stay. No, Anton or Morgan Gibbs-White, even if it's not his fault, even if he had nothing to do with it, if he comes out and says, "Well, my agent did it," or Spurs did it, or Brennan Johnson, or all these rumors, he can't possibly play for Forest again. Do you know? Wouldn't it be ironic if Man City came in with a higher bid now? Wouldn't it be ironic?
Yeah.
But we don't know. You see, we don't know the final. Maybe the deal is already done, and there's nothing. There can be no comebacks. But Forest can object, knowing that it's gone. But as for playing for Forest again, no, he couldn't. He couldn't. I would be very disappointed in Forest if they let him play again. I think there'd be so much vitriol from the crowd, which probably that happens in footballing. But no, as a human being, I wouldn't. I don't think Morgan Gibbs-White can. No, it's not. I don't think. No, he can't play for Forest again. No, not because I'm jealous or envious
Yeah.
or angry, but just it's gone too far. This has broken the whatever it is that
Yeah.
it's broken trust. Somebody's broken trust somewhere. And well, look, he's been bought for 60 million in the story. For me, that's it. It's gone. He's gone. So no, he can't play for us anymore.
Yeah, I wish I had your resolve. I don't have it. I just don't have it. I get so panicky. And my
Why?
my big feeling about Morgan Gibbs-White is we're not getting enough money for him. It's not enough. 60 million, wherever that what was in his release clause, it wasn't enough. And
No.
I've always had great faith in the recent years in our recruitment staff. And now I'm starting to wonder, that's 60 million, he's gone.
Cheap.
60 million, is it enough? I think it's not enough for Morgan Gibbs-White, considering we bought Elanga for 13 and sold him on for 55. That's the sort of profit you need to be making, and we're not making that in Morgan Gibbs-White. And he's I think he's an 80 million player. I think he's worth 80 million all day long.
Well, I
You
actually
know, I
agree with
just
you that I I agree with you that he's probably an 80 million player, and he will play for England, but he won't be a regular for England unless he improves drastically at Spurs. And like playing for England is, look, I'm Irish, but well, I'm an England supporter, believe it or not, when they're in competitions, except when they're playing against Ireland. But playing for England is not in the world of football and world football, the Spains, the Frances, the Argentinas. England aren't a powerhouse. I would rather be renowned for being a brilliant Forest player than a bit part player for England, because he's not going to go bang and slot into that England setup. He's not. He will get a couple of games. He might even get a run for a year. But I actually think there are better players than Morgan Gibbs-White for England. I do, seriously. For England, I think there are better players
Well,
than Morgan.
I'm doing an episode with Colin later on tonight, and I want to. Where does he fit into the Spurs setup? I can't see. Is he going to replace Maddison? I don't know how he's going to slot in there. But anyway, he's not our player anymore. That's we're agreed on that he's not going to play for Forest again.
No.
And the final thing is I assume are we going to get our Europa League position from Crystal Palace?
Again, there's the all fors and all against. I'm very unhappy that Palace fans are going absolutely crazy with Forest. The one part of this jigsaw that cannot be blamed is Forest. We've done nothing wrong. We Forest have done nothing wrong.
No.
Palace. I mean, there's even photographs there with Henderson coming way outside. The people are saying that was definitely a penalty, or that was definitely a sending off offence, and they would never have won the FA Cup. Am I sympathetic to the Forest? Well, I at the time when we got docked points, they wanted us literally. I saw it posted. They thought that 4 points wasn't enough for Forest. They deserved more and probably should have been relegated. So of course my defensive head comes up there. Look, Europa League, it's going to be harder for us to win it. I don't understand that this grade of European football. I was happy with the conference. I'm now happy with the whatever it's called,
Europa League.
the Europa League.
Europa
I'm
League.
happy. But how is it? How do I
Yeah.
feel about a Palace? Look, it's like the football players. It's not that I don't care, but it's none of my business. They can complain. They can stand up and sing. We stand up if you hate Forest, and we play them. That's part of football rivalry and banter. But at the end of the day, us fans and supporters and season tickets, whatever, we pay our money to go and watch the game. A lot of people will be very angry. They may even fight with Forest fans. That happens. But at the end of the day, rules are rules. Rules are rules.
Yeah. I think it was harsh. I'm really down the middle in this. I feel that Crystal Palace. I feel sorry for them. The first big trophy they've won, and they got a place in Europe, and it's been stripped back, and they've been pushed back, demoted down into the Conference League. That said, it's a breach of the rules, and they broke the rules, and they have to take the punishment. And blaming Forest or Marinakis for writing the letter, the difference in money is business. He was quite right to write quite correct to write the letter and point out that they breached the rules, because it's going to make a massive difference to his business financially. He is in line to make I don't know how many million more by just qualifying for the Europa League as opposed to the Conference League. So why not write the letter? We haven't done it wrong. Steve Parish made the mistake. He didn't foresee that they were going to end up winning the FA Cup and conflicting with Leon being there as well. So you're dead right. It's nothing to do with Forest, and my only regret is I think we were ready for the Conference League. I'm not sure we're ready for the Europa League. And now that we've been stripped of players, I just hope we don't end up making a fool of ourselves, if you know what I mean. Going over there, not winning a game, not progressing in any shape or form. But I don't know. How do you feel we're ready for the Europa League?
Well, if I can just say to you then, you said there a thing that I've seen a lot online, and I tend to just laugh at it, but you said now that we've been stripped of players, but We managed when Elanga wasn't playing. We played good football. We managed without Gibbs-White, and we played good football. We won games. They were just part. They were cogs in our bigger wheel. They're gone. But look, the couple that we've bought now. I wouldn't even be disappointed if we don't buy anybody else, because I go to watch Nottingham Forest. That is what I go. But I'm sure we will buy what we'll buy maybe two or three players. We still have a good side. We have a good side. Aside, maybe I'm tempting fate here. We won't be fighting relegation this year. Are we ready for the Europa League? Were we ready for Champions League, which only passed us by in the last few weeks? We're not ready for conference or Europa, but we will compete. Now that we know we're in
Yeah.
it, things will be done. I mean, maybe selling Elanga and Gibbs-White, knowing you're in the conference, wasn't a good move, but there may be a bigger plan. We don't know. There may be a master plan. Harvey Nichols, Harvey Elliott could come in. You don't know. It's football. It's football. We're living the dream. Well, I am living the dream for the last 2 or 3 years. Um,
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it.
what I can say to you is, look, years ago, Fran, when we were languishing in League One, we were coming back from a game once, and he wasn't happy, and I said, and I said, what would you like in football? And he said, Dad, if we could go in the Championship, if we could go to Wembley and win the playoff final, that would be the greatest day of my life. And I said, no, I'd rather go up automatically. He said, no, if we could win at Wembley, but the losing would be awful. And more or less the same breath, he said to me, and bear in mind, Fran was, I don't know, 14, 15, 16. He's now in his 40s. Um, he's adopted, obviously, because I'm only 28. But he's now, and just after we had that discussion, he said, and the other thing, he said, I'd love to go to Europe for a European game one time, just you and me, that we would go father and son to a game. And whatever we're playing in, we're going there. The dreams are coming through, but Gibbs-White is gone, Elanga's gone. I smile when I say Elanga, because he made all the. If Gibbs-White could come out and say something nice, I would love him. But I like him at the moment. Elanga, I love Elanga because of his headband and his smile, and what he said when he went to Newcastle. It was time for his next chapter, but he really appreciated everything that was done for him. And to me, it's like, if
I saw
as
the
a
tweet,
plumber,
and I thought it was. I thought it.
yeah.
So,
Sorry,
no, I
Paul.
saw the tweet that he put out, and I thought it was very
Oh,
fitting.
I
And
didn't see. I
I've
didn't
always thought
see
he
it.
was a nice guy, intelligent guy as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so we've lost them all, and we're on to the Europa League. Um, have you got one? I'll just ask you one question. Have you one destination you would like to go to?
Oh, the Europa League. You see, it's changed my plans now, because I wanted to go to that island off Portugal that's about 400 miles away. Azerbaijan, or the island that's 400 miles away from west of Portugal. I wanted to go to either of those. And like, I actually got the all clear to fly again there, as I said, after the season finished. But I
Fantastic.
did say, if we get to Europe, I'm driving, and wherever we're going, I'm driving. I am driving. That's set in stone. It's a road trip. I'm hoping to go, if it's somewhere far away, like, I don't know, give me an Eastern European country that we'll be competing in.
I'm hoping for Istanbul. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Istanbul. I've never made it
Yeah.
to the city. I've been to the country, but I've never been to the city. So I'm hoping for Istanbul.
Okay. Well,
Um, that's the one I'm
I'd
hoping for. So
you see how I'd like to do it is, I'd like to drive to Istanbul, maybe set off on a Monday with whoever wins the ballot to come with me as the whatever they call the guys in the car, the passenger, shotgun. But I'd like to leave
yeah,
on a Monday, and if you stop for lunch or dinner in Eastern France and you have a few beers, yeah, you stay in a hotel and head off the next day and get to Istanbul or wherever, watch the game, and then head back to the city ground for the next Forest home game, or wherever we're playing away, and just another memory. It's about
yeah.
creating memories. And look,
That's what it's about.
I'm approaching I'm approaching 70. Look, and I'm living the dream. Like, I'm here talking to you
Yeah,
about Champions League and Europa League. If you had spoke to me 10 years ago, I'd have been, oh my God.
yeah. That's only a dream. That's only a dream. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we look forward to the season. The season, the dry patch is nearly over. And thanks, Charlie. I just get
Nobody.
a level head on it, because I'm not a level-headed when it comes to losing players. I panic, and I wish I had your resolve to do that. So thanks for joining me. Have you anything else you want to add before we go?
Well, actually, you know, we talk about Gibbs-White, and I know he's Morgan. I'm not going to insult him by saying Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White and Antti Elanga being transferred, and we've made a profit on both of them, whatever happens. But and a lot of people have complained. But I'll tell you what upset me this week. I think it was this week, or maybe early last week. One of the Nottingham Forest fan groups, you know, like the Munster group, and there's the Ireland Forest fans,
Yes.
and there's the London fan. Well, somebody posted it, and it was a message from Nottingham Forest ticket office saying this year, unfortunately, all all recognised, you know, what are they, registered forest groups
Yes.
will not be allowed to ask for away tickets. They're not being allowed away tickets this season because the demand is so great. And it said you can still apply for your home tickets, but away tickets are not going to be available in any circumstance to any of the big. You know, there's Serbian forest, there's German forest, there's forests all over the world basically. But these guys,
Yeah.
now I particularly Munster Forest and the Ireland Forest, some of those people, I meet them at every single game. You know, every single away game, they're there too. So had they not been a member of their group, they would now be qualifying for tickets. You know, like in the famous 400 that we got into. But their
Yeah.
chance, their loyalty, because they're a member of a group, has been, and they pay to join the group. I didn't pay to join any group. I'm just on my own. I was lucky, but I think it's,
Yeah.
you see, it's not bad management because they can sell the tickets anyway. It's in consideration.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. I
Yeah.
hope it's not true.
Well, I hope
I hope
it's not accurate. I hope Yeah, I hope it's not accurate, or if it is, I hope that there's some demonstration or complaint made and it is so overturned, because that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
no.
Okay, Charlie, prediction for just before we go, prediction for the season. Where do we end up in the
Top
league?
half. Top half.
Top half, I'll take that.
Yep.
And a bit of a run in Europe would do nice.
Yeah, we won't be getting an FA Cup
Very good.
run. I think Nuno learned about that one.
Did he? Oh, well. That's unfortunate, because I really enjoyed that. Charlie,
Thank you.
thank you very much for joining me, and we'll have you on
No bother.
again during the season, whenever Forest are playing. And
Of course.
safe travels when you start traveling over to weekly or fortnightly to Forest.
Oh,
And
weekly.
we'll chat to you again
And
very,
I'll
very soon.
do. If I'm on a road trip, I shall do you know, like a video, like
Please do.
whoever's in the car with me, they'll video us, and we'll just wherever we're stopping and just having the listen, living the dream, Paul.
Perfect.
It's good.
And we'll look forward to it. It's always very popular. Any you do for us is always well received and well watched. Charlie, thank you
No
very
problem.
much indeed, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Forest
Stay
forever.
safe. Thank you.
Long